bit much.
He does seem devout in his following, or at least testing his faith.
This is almost like a wasted journey.
Wow. I mean, you did save a lot of people, but by that comment alone, maybe you passing the gate wouldn't have worked.
Emotional disturbances can interrupt the flow of ki, and you feel like a rush of energy fly through your body, and you start to feel like basically as if you were rolling down a hill. And your body is like you're almost like stunned into like bliss. Pleasure is the wrong word. You're kind of your senses are like on overdrive. You can feel every little particle, little atom of ki within your body, like, but you realize it now. You realize the position of every single one, and you are stunned.
Okay.
So, but literally in game. So like you can't move, you can't speak, you can hear, but basically, and your arms start to steam as well. And you start to drop to the ground, and Carol, almost as if he was predicting it, kind of rushes in and catches your body. So you are kind of still there, like just in bliss, and you're kind of heating up. You can add the feat, Lucretia's blessing. And while you look for that, I will move the scene along. Lucretia, she turns to Saul and Nathaniel, and she says, "Now, come along quickly, you two. We have delayed long enough. I'll be rousing the pilgrims to depart." And she turns to you guys, Bulk and Daniels, and says, "Best of luck to you all. May the flame light your paths. I'm sure we will meet again soon." And she also would have said, if you want to follow up with them basically and start to assist their cause, that Nathaniel Flint is the man in Emberwood Village is where you can find him. So Nathaniel and Lucretia kind of take off walking. Carol turns to your group and says, he's kind of caught Farron in his hands, and he's kind of stroking his hair and just saying, like, you'll be all right, brother. And Carol, you can still hear all of this. He turns to you guys and he says, this is the same thing that happened to me. He will regain himself shortly. Find someplace safe and wait for him.
I say we stay resolute with our brother.
Are you leaving us behind, Carol?
I'm afraid our paths diverge for now, friends.
You two,
take Farron.
He looks down to Farron, but he's kind of talking to the group, and he says, on my previous journey here, Lucretia had shown me enough. Whether she has the right or the wrong of this issue, I do not know, but I know that she has been touched by the flame. There's more to the delirium than we know. Tarnistar was the nucleus of our entire faith. We will never know the truth of the matter unless we follow deeper. I believe I'm choosing the right side.
Tarnistar, is that familiar to anyone?
So that would have been, it certainly would have been familiar to Farron, but even you all, but that's kind of like the, I don't know, it's almost like the equivalent of like Jesus' birth, you know? It's the star which led the first paladin to the star and granted her powers and shit like that.
Okay.
It's all religious stuff that Bulk doesn't really get himself bogged down with.
But I would know it in
certainly
just like lingo. Okay.
Yeah, you would know that's not complete BS that he just said. It makes some sort of sense. But yeah, he'll continue talking. He says, still talking to Farron, like knowing that Farron can hear him. I don't know what will happen in there, but I'm at peace with my decision. I just needed to make sure you know. that you don't have to worry about me. And I hope to see you again soon.
And he's whispering all this into like my seized up comatose kind of body thing.
Yeah, he's not even whispering it.
Okay.
Like he's just telling it directly to you.
Okay.
He looks up to you guys and he says, Daniels, Volk, you all make a great team. Please take care of my brother.
We shall.
May we achieve resonance.
He will be in a rough place when he comes to and learns of my decision. Stand by his side and console him. He will find the right side of this matter. I trust him, but he must do it on his own, as will the rest of our brothers.
So you're heading in to the city.
I aim to find the truth of this, whether Lucretia is mad or whether she is right.
So
I
you
will know.
pursue without faith.
He just convinced me he was faithful, and now he's like, "Let me go see."
Yeah, well, he's taking kind of the rational take, like
Yeah.
like if you believe in God, then if there's a heaven, then you'll get there. But if there's not a God, then you just die. That's the same as the rest. That's kind of he's basically saying that he's going to bite the bullet for your brothers and find out if this is true.
Okay.
He, whether he believes in what Lucretia's saying, like you'll die if you go forward, he either seems to believe in his own faith or in his own strength. But he believes he will make it through.
Wunderbar. I like that. I respect that.
And
Both
he
will remember this.
certainly. So he kind of carefully lays Farron down onto the ground, and he kind of steps back and says, "Saul, shall we depart?" And he looks to you, Bulk.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Is there anything else you might like to say to?
Oh yeah. I believe in your conviction, and I hope you find the truth. What protection this may offer, for I cannot be your shield within. Take this. I'm going to give him my scale mail.
Okay. Fascinating. He says, incredible. Is there anything you can do to make it sound like your armor does?
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yes, I can. I can. Hold on. I could use my thing.
Magical tinkering?
Yes, I will magical tinker that sound.
Yeah, just the sound of little pulses from your I imagine like your booming blade or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. And they start to make little each of the individual little scales on there.
Yes.
And he says, "Oh, resounding. Incredible. Master, I will seek the source of the sound. If there's anything to be learned there, to confirm your teachings, I will do so. Your followers as well.
May we achieve resonance together in brotherhood."
Indeed. Once we cross to the other side, we won't be leaving the Holy Lands. We will reside inside the city, at St. Selena's Monastery. You cannot enter until you have completed the sacrament yourselves, but we can meet you inside the walls. Where can we find you?
And I'll look over to Danielus. You speak of a tower, of an amulet that you seek. Tell our brother here.
Yes. And I give him the instructions on where it'll be at. And I run up to Saul and I give him a big hug because we bonded at that inn. Like, it was a good run, Saul.
Yeah, Paul, by all accounts, Paul seems to love you guys like immensely. Like he may follow Bulk's teachings, but he's the only one who's trying to like propagandize him. So, but he gives you all a fantastic hug and says, "Very well, at the clock tower, we will find you, my brother. Stay safe." And says, "May the flame be with you." And him and Saul and Carol start to walk away. Leaving the three of you all plus Barkus standing in the rain in front of Champion's Gate.
I'm going to do a scoop on old Farron to get him off the ground.
Yes, let's try to find a place to rest for the night until Farron wakes up.
Yeah, so it does not take long for you to find a building that looks safe enough, and you kind of wait the hour that it takes for for Farron to come to, and he rouses. I assume you just kind of laid him somewhere in a corner or whatever, and he starts to wake up.
In some stuff, you know.
They like hold and their arms get tired. They're like, huh.
Yeah,
Just
and he
scatter
wakes
across
up.
the ground. But how do I feel when I wake up after this experience?
You feel a mix between the greatest you've ever felt in your life and like a giraffe like out of the womb, kind of you're a little bit wobbly. You're like feeling things that you've never felt before. Like you feel, like I said, like literally every particle of every atom of ki that flows within you.
Okay, so
it's a pretty big sensation.
But I'm also like a Great Dane where my feet are too big and I can't really walk that well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I'm probably, as I'm coming to, just, I guess if every key point is firing off, I'm probably doing, since I can't coordinate too much, I'm kind of rolling, just kind of squirming about a little bit. And just making unaudible noises.
Hold true. I'm gonna steady the shit out of him. My big metally hands.
So Farron, what was it like?
I can't quite make sense of it. This is all really different. Where'd Carol go?
You heard where Carol went.
I was knocked out. I don't know if I know where
you
he went.
You can hear.
Oh, I thought I was knocked out. Was my brain functioning?
You heard it. You were just paralyzed. You heard everything.
Oh yeah, okay.
I imagine you kind of woke up and said like Carol, kind of a deal.
Brother.
So can you like shoot flames or something now?
No, nothing like that. It's almost like I just feel more resilient of sorts.
Yes, I almost forgot, Farron. You can also add the item, the
shooting
Fist of Flame tattoo.
Ooh.
And you can attune to it. Basically, it is the Eldritch Claw tattoo, just kind of reflavored.
Nice. And you see I'm rocking a bitchin' tattoo.
Yes. So basically, so there are 2 tattoos on either arm, starting at your hands, going up, kind of up to your shoulders. What would you imagine that tattoo looks like?
Let's see.
Like just pitch and flames or something. I don't know.
I'm almost assuming so because I'm like Fist of the Flame tattoo. I'm assuming it has to be something fire oriented.
Yeah.
Let's go with it's more of like flames around, kind of like wrists going up to the arms, but once it gets to about like yay up here, it turns more into like smolders that kind of just like trail up neck, and then I'm assuming where there's going to be a distinct hand points wherever Lucretia touched me.
Sure, that's I like it.
And we'll go with that. If you can imagine it, and if you can, kudos, because I really can't. But we'll go with that.
Cool. No, I like it.
But yeah, I'm going with that. I'm going to still trying to get my bearing about me. It's almost like you've woken up in a place you didn't think you were going to wake up. I'm assuming, and I was like, yeah, I'm just my vitality. I can feel. I have more control of my inner self of sorts. I think what they said was true, as far as I can tell. I'm more well adapted to combat the corruption, fend it off, be a weapon. I don't know if I'll know the full extent until maybe we test it out.
Okay. Sounds
path?
good. I guess now we gotta go the long way around since your Lucretia Matthias didn't want to let us through.
Right, there's still a lot of questions, and I'm worried about Carol going off on his own's a bit reckless. He's always been hot-headed, but even for him, this is a bit much.
He does seem devout in his following, or at least testing his faith.
This is almost like a wasted journey.
Wow. I mean, you did save a lot of people, but by that comment alone, maybe you passing the gate wouldn't have worked. We could try doing the long way around like you suggested, but we have to be careful. Isn't this fog thicker than usual? It's kind of hard to see. I'm assuming she ushered us out the way we came.
Yes.
Okay.
Where are you guys thinking of going to?
Let's see. We're at
To his tower?
Champion's Way. Do we want to go to Danielus's tower?
I would.
I want to go to Danielus's tower.
I think we're the closest. Okay, so where is Champion's
We're
Gate?
at
Isn't
3,
that
and we got a
there?
14.
You're right.
We're at
here,
3.
point
Okay.
3. Yeah.
Where's your tower at?
12.
14. 12.
Okay, so there's.
yeah.
This is probably.
So we'd have to scale this wall at.
No,
We'd
what
have-
if we scale the wall?
Wait, you said we have to. If we're at 3 and we have to go, you said to 12 or did you say 14?
12.
We have to cross the river and we have to see if one of these bridges is safe. Or if you happen to know that ferryman like we did last time, do you know if he can get us across?
But we haven't crossed through that gate at 3, right? Because that was the whole premise.
Right, yeah, we're still on the outside.
Right, so
We're on the outskirts.
Correct.
There was that.
So
we
not only would you guys, so if you guys
We'd have
want
to-
to go to the clock tower, you
we'd have
either
to
have
get
to pass through a gate or pass over the walls.
What's 4? What's gate 4?
4, that is Temple Gate. Daniels could tell you that the gnolls you just fought, so the gnolls were basically very much outside of their territory, which has its own implications that you guys haven't really pondered. But the gnolls basically occupy the entire area, like on the western side of that river, going like, I don't know, a half mile in or something like that. So that entire gate, those entire neighborhoods are all controlled by gnolls. They kind of swarm the area.
Could we leverage the Kingsmen to raid the Knolls and get through there?
The Queensmen?
Queensmen, yeah. Wait, who died? Was the Queensmen?
Oh,
died?
There were 3 of the Queenmans that were ransacked by the gnolls. I have their sigil of the, I think it was like bloody dice.
Yes.
Dice.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Daniels would be able to tell you that the bloody dice, by the way, is the sign of the high rollers.
I for sure would have showed him at least. Like, hey.
Yeah, they are another one of the Queensman bandit groups. Bulk, your question about whether you could leverage the Queenmen, you haven't really asked the Queenmen at all about trying to reach the inner city. So that could be something that they could help you with, but you haven't really asked them.
Right. And that's kind of who Mel is in cahoots with, yes?
That is very clear. Yes.
I think he said, didn't Mel say he was going to get us an audience with the Queen?
Yeah, if we sell the thing that we're supposed to go do.
Why? We have to get those 10 scrolls of fireball, I think a couple, like a wands and an amulet.
Right. So why don't we just take a step back, a little holistic view on like everything that you guys kind of have on
the docket.
So let's just knock the easy ones out first. So the Silver Order and the Hooded Lanterns, you guys really don't have any interactions with them as of yet. The Followers of the Falling Fire, you've just spoken to Lucretia. Yeah, you've kind of spoken with their people in the past in terms of finding more work for them, advancing their cause. Lucretia basically said to speak to Nathaniel when he gets back to the village, and he would be able to hook you up with some stuff. That would take a little bit. From the Amethyst Academy, River has tasked you with trying to suss out the location of the rogue malfeasant wizard, Oscar Yorn. And she basically had you guys like look for information, and she'll contact you shortly.
Crap! We could have asked Lucretia about that. Damn it.
The Queensmen, Blackjack Mel in particular. So you have the Queen's Ball coming up in a couple of weeks, maybe about a week and a half by now, which is where the champion will get to meet the Queen. But besides that, he has tasked you with kind of starting this budding alliance with the Amethyst Academy, just with a small start by making that purchase. And to take that stuff to a smithy. which is a delirium mine. You could imagine.
All right.
So that's kind of everything you have on the docket right now.
And do we know where that mine is?
You do know where the mine is. Yeah, mail mark
Where
it
is
on
it?
your deal. It's not too far away. It's to the east here. It's 0.19. It's kind of under the white line here.
Well,
But you don't
really
have the goods.
Yeah.
Can we summon River?
I don't know. Can you?
She said, "Oh crap! What did she say?"
So she said the academy really aren't the types to
They'll
give
find
you their
us.
phone number,
Right,
so to
yeah.
speak. But if you had a way to contact her, and certainly Bulk, you would be the one who would. She is kind of open to calls, so to speak. But if you don't have those spells prepared, then there's really nothing you could do.
Right. I'm thinking right now, Denless, we may have to put your project on the sideline. We don't have a way to get through this gate.
Yeah, I agree.
It might be the best course of action if we could find this wizard, kill him, turn him in, whatever with him. While we're there, we can get everything we need to drop off at the mine, and then we could perhaps foster relations between the Queensman and the Amethyst Academy. We can't really do much more with Lucretia until Nathaniel gets back to town, which I'm sure we'll run into. And we still never really tried with the Paladins or the Hooded Lanterns, but last time I spoke to my sister, it seems like the Sacred Flame and possibly the Paladins are either looking for me or all of us. All she said was to not visit unless it was nighttime. So the town might be interesting. Maybe also warn your mother. I don't think the church would do anything to her, but just to let her know in case something sketchy happens to be wise.
And Danielus did do that when you guys were having dinner. He made sure to say, "Hey, they're looking for Diedrich. They might be looking for us too. So be careful."
Okay.
To me, it sounds like you guys have a couple of open quests. You've kind of closed the loop on this Lucretia business for now. It might be best to kind of retreat back to Emberwood, maybe leverage some of your relationship with the Queensman, with Mel, to see if he can kind of put you over the edge on any of the things you're working on right now. And maybe even River would contact you.
What was that girl's name? The one who we saved in the rat's nest. The one who all of her men were eaten, and at first we were really fucking kind of like chodes to her.
That'd be Petra Eisner.
Petra.
Before time.
The Hooded Lanterns.
If we could get a hold of her, was it the Hooded Lanterns men who I got that sigil from, or was it Queensmen?
Those were Queensmen.
Queensmen. I was like, we could also always search out for Petra if we wanted to do a Hooded Lanterns. We don't know much about them though. But I think maybe back to Emberwood, because also we're in the middle of the thick of it, and
into the thick of it,
and milling out, trying to figure out a plan in this fog is probably not the best.
I agree.
What say you, Bulk?
Resounding.
Head back to Emberwood and figure out a concrete plan?
Travel.
Yes, and you will recall that open mic night is tonight. Okay, so it sounds like you guys have a couple of things in, and you've kind of hit a roadblock of sorts. You can always take a little moment to search for some delirium. You guys really don't do that too much.
Yeah, I would. I would like to look for the things. Thank you, Dandy.
Julie, do the thing.
Just like you can look for cool merch at the Funky Store. Or check that out. There's great things there. Like a good DM, you need a good shirt to wear on your body. So you can find that at Funky Store, funky.store.
Certainly. So I'll say you guys start making your way back to Emberwood Village, but you're keeping a pretty close eye out for delirium along the way.
And that other thing that I like.
Oh yeah, sure. Speak life to it, King.
Oh, the the iron, the meteoric iron.
Yes. Bulk definitely wants the meteoric iron. Certainly. Why don't you guys give me an Arcana, investigation, or survival check?
You said all of us?
Yes.
Survival
since you're
or
searching for
Arcana?
delirium. Survival, Arcana, or investigation.
12.
6.
Do you care the flavor?
9.
Do I care the flavor? What do you mean?
Like which one we rolled?
Oh, no, not at all. So what was the highest? A 12?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. So yeah, you guys search high and low, and you don't find any delirium.
You don't find it.
It's pretty incredible. But as you're walking back to the village, you're closer to the village than you are to Champion's Gate at this point. You do hear some sounds of arguing in the near distance.
Do we recognize those voices?
You don't.
I
Sounds
have
like
an
a group of
idea.
people. Sure.
I say we get close, and I want to send Barkus in as just an innocent dog and get some pets, and then he'll come back and fill us in with what he saw.
Certainly.
Okay, everyone. So we creep up over the ledge, and Barkus runs in.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I will take us over to our map. And there's no reason to be afraid at all. So how about I drop you guys kind of in this lower right-hand corner, or excuse me, lower left-hand corner here. And you can see to the northeast here that there are a group of people, some in shining plate armor, and there's another group kind of wearing raggy robes, and they're standing around a pool of what looks like sludge. But in either case, yeah. So Daniel sends Barkus kind of just up towards those people, and what does Barkus do?
I think he's gonna kind of just run around on the outskirts, like he's like, and he'll like dig in spots and be kind of sniffing around, like keeping an eye on them, but like keeping a safe distance.
Certainly. So you guys, as you kind of scoot up against that building you're on, and why don't you all go ahead and make me a stealth check while we're at it?
13.
19.
Hey.
It's crazy when I'm not ringing bells and glowing.
Right? Oh my god.
And Bulk, did you roll with disadvantage?
Why do I have disadvantage?
Because of your armor.
Ah, shit.
17 for Farron.
Okay, that's good.
13.
A 13. Okay, still good enough. Okay, so you all remain concealed as Barkus steps forward to approach. You can kind of hear the voices now. You can hear kind of from a younger man say, "You dirty foreigners, you have no right to be here anyway. You can't hold us. Are we detained? Are we being detained? Do you have a warrant?" And one of the knights says, "Now settle down, young man. You can't just sneak up on us and expect to be treated not at the edge of a sword." And one of the men turns and says, "Hey, what is that dog doing over there?"
Ooh.
And they all kind of turn their eyes to look at Barkus, who stands there and is digging in the ground.
What?
And if there's nothing from you guys, then they just kind of like look at the dog and like kind of think that's weird, but they go about having their conversation. It sounds like the three smaller looking men who Daniel, as you kind of peer forward, they look like they are teenagers, perhaps. It appears that the three young men were apparently tracking the knights, who it appears are of the Silver Order variety, and they were caught.
I'm big mad.
Okay, I whisper back to Bulk and Farron. I'm like, okay, so there's some Silver Order knights and some guys. Like, who do we want to side with if we get caught?
What are the guys? Silver Orders, and who are the others?
I don't know. Some just ragamuffins.
Yeah, ragamuffins would be a good way to describe them.
The Silver Order is not resounding.
We don't like the Silver Order? Catch me up.
Daniels, make a perception check. Since you're standing at the front here.
A 24.
24. You squint a little harder and you recognize the voice as Charlie Chatterbox, a young man from Emberwood Village who was renowned for his loud mouth. Emma Crow kind of took over his spot in the village of being loud and annoying.
Guys, I recognize these
boys.
kids. They're from Enderwood. We cannot let anything happen to them.
Say less.
And does Barkus come back with like any new information that we wouldn't have heard?
He runs back to you guys and he says, "Rough."
No. I can't speak with him.
I believe you use that feature on the rats, and I believe you can only use it once a day, unless you have the spell. If you have a spell slot, you can expend a spell, and
yeah.
It's up to you.
Do I want to expend a spell slot? No, I say we
Yeah,
just listen.
Okay, sure.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I will use the spell slot. No, I won't.
Okay, sure. So as you guys listen in a little bit more, it sounds like the knights are preparing to apprehend these three. Seems like they were apparently scouting out the smithy as well, which is the place you were supposed to deliver weapons to.
I'm about to goon squad.
No, I'm going to say you guys stay covered for now. And so I kind of stroll out with Barkus, and I'm like, I couldn't help but overhear a commotion going on here.
And one of the knights, Knight Ron, Saran, turns to you and says, "Oh, identify yourself. We have more vagabonds walking around. Father Lemon."
Vagabond would be not an accurate term. I am Danielus, also known as a hero amongst these parts.
Is that right? A hero?
Mm-hmm. What are you guys doing here?
Well, this is perfect. We have an impartial mediator. We found these three tracking our movements. Seemed like they were prepared to attack at any moment.
They look kind of young to be intimidating a bunch of knights.
And as you get closer, not only do you recognize Charlie Chatterbox, but you also recognize Wonky and Pulley, young men from the village as well. And Charlie Chatterbox says, Mr. Danielus, it's you! Get these foreigners off our land. They don't belong here. And the Father Lemon speaks up and says, No, that's no way to welcome guests to your land. We did not follow you, track you, threaten you.
Well, if you're on their land, I think they had every right to see what you were doing here.
Can me and Bulk hear all this?
Yeah, certainly.
I want to lean over to Bulk and be like, that doctrine, that one that we found about the Holy Order coming to here to reclaim Drakkenheim.
Yeah, brother, I think we should just, rather to be hasty, clap cheeks.
If we cause a fight and these knights overturn, we're going to cause more issues than what we began with.
The Silver Order is only here to cause issues.
They're here to apprehend people who are searching and tampering with delirium. If we can convince them they have none, we could defuse this.
Well, showing myself would be in vain to your objectives, so I will follow your lead, brother.
Let's wait and see if Danielus can hold this. If things get dicey, I might go out and try to take the religious side of things.
So it seems like
chief residents.
All you.
Yeah. So Father Lemon speaks up and says, because Daniel's talked about being an invader on the land. Father Lemon says, some land you have here. This place is disgusting, despicable, deplorable. I can't stand it.
Then
Now,
why be
if-
here?
We have been called on a holy mission to purify and reclaim this land and protect the faithful followers of the flame. Now, do you intend to take guardianship over these young men? And Daniels, you can confirm, in fact, that these, these are people maybe 14 years of age at the most. And Charlie Chatterbox will speak up and say, Daniels, you got to get us out of here, man. Blackjack Mel, he paid us to snoop around the mine and see if anybody was coming around. We found these
Enough.
guys. They was talking about
Okay.
destroying it and everything.
Oh, really? You guys were here to destroy the mines?
Sir Austin, one of the other knights, kind of straightens himself up and says, we've tracked a delirium trade network back to this mine. You agree with this?
This is my one warning to you guys, but I have quite the skills that would make you all not want to engage in a fight. So this is your only warning. Can I do an intimidation?
Are you pulling a Liam Neeson from Taken on me? Yeah, make an
yeah.
intimidation check.
16.
A 16? Okay. The knights turn and look at each other and said, we have no interest in spilling the blood of children. Take guardianship over these ones, take them home to their mothers, and we'll live to see another day, both sides.
But I can't have you enter these mines.
Our work here is done. And they start to walk away, but I'm going to have each of you roll a d8.
Oh, are they doing some shady shit?
3.
7.
What was that last one?
6.
Very good. So the knights begin to kind of walk off, and they kind of give you a scowl, Daniel says, as they walk past you. But they say, all this arguing was sure to bring monsters here anyway. And just as the words leave his mouth, you hear a some strange clicking noise in the distance, and the knights freeze and say, what was that?
Can I tell which way that was coming from?
With the way the clicking noise kind of reverberated, it sounded like it was coming from all around you.
I'm gonna head up toward Danielis, but like try to like stealth, if I can move my character, try to stealthily move, maybe hide behind this cart to get closer.
Sure.
I'm following suit.
Sure. It seems that both the knights and the 3 neighborhood kids are all kind of distracted, going like, oh, whoa. And we're gonna have a little roll off here, guys.
Oh, what?
So I'm gonna roll for quote unquote the monsters. Who would like to roll for the party?
Okay.
He's in charge.
He's been chatting. Yeah, he's been chatting for this one.
Who would like to roll for the knights?
I'll roll for the knights.
Okay. And
what am I rolling for?
You'll roll for the for our little neighborhood kid. So we're each just gonna roll a d20 and we're gonna see what happens.
Ooh, knights are looking hot.
How'd the knights do?
18.
And Bulk?
14 on kids.
And Farron?
12.
Daniels? A 12?
12 on us.
Okay. With the sounds coming in from all around you, it appears that the haze husks that you all were quite familiar with fighting, these the reanimated dead, start to stumble in from all sides around you. That mysterious noise that you heard hasn't seemed to show itself. But what do you all intend to do? Do you all intend to run, maybe make a break for it, or stand and fight?
Get these kids.
I'm
I'm gonna
I'm
say
gonna.
kid,
The other
kid,
two sides have started to run away.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
Oh
so
no, I'm gonna say kids get over.
yeah. Fuck. Which way are the kids going? I don't know which way they're
I'm
heading.
gonna follow. I'm gonna have to
Um,
follow the kids.
I'll follow Danielus, but regardless, I was gonna head toward the kids because I'm like, these are knights and 14-year-olds.
Gotcha. So the kids have thrown like a little pseudo smoke bomb on the ground,
Flashbang.
and they've kind of erupted into a plume of smoke. You see, they started to take off in this direction. It looks like it's heading off back towards Queensman territory. Daniels, you know the compass directions here, so that would take them off towards Queensman territory. The sounds are closing in, though. What do you guys say?
I'm gonna still head for Danielus and the kids, just
Yep.
because the knights haven't seen me in bulk, and it makes sense.
Okay.
Be like, guys, we have to protect the kids.
Okay, sounds good. So you hear some sounds of fighting coming from back the direction the knights came, and you all hear the sounds closing in. And that's where we'll take our break, or not our break, but that's where we'll close this session for for tonight. We're going to close a little early as opposed to getting into a combat.
Oh, boo.
But we will return and see what becomes of the Queensmen and little Queensmen kids and the party. So, Stephen, why don't you close us out here?
Make sure you like and subscribe and do all the great things. We have wonderful stuff going on here on the Funky channel. We got the Poser series. We've got all of the Looking for group playthrough. We might even play Pokemon Unite or Overwatch 2. Who knows what's going on? There's lots of multiplayer games. So you want to stick around and see what we play next. Wiggy is putting through on Super Mario RPG. Daniel just defeated a Kirby right here.
Yes, the right wing.
Dandy just did Star Wars Republic Commando. There's plenty going on. So make sure you like and subscribe so you know what we're playing through and what's going on. And we'll see you in the next one.
Check it out.
Bye.
Oh my
Bye.
god.